A lot of people think you need fancy tools, messy mortar, and perfect tile cutting skills to build a high-end outdoor table that actually looks designer. Today, I'm going to show you how you can build a luxury-looking tiled outdoor dining table on a budget with no complicated cuts, no messy mortar, and no stress. And the best part, you'll be sitting around the table making memories with your family in no time. Let's get started. So we're gonna run into Lowe's and pick out some tile and grout. I have some ideas in mind that I've seen in past visits, but we'll go make some final decisions right now.
Morning, evening, and midnight, such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own.
Okay, so I'm thinking something on the lines of this. I like this one, but there's another one on the other aisle that I want to show you first. Okay, there's this one, which is really nice. I'm also liking this one, but the one that I'm leaning most towards is over here. It's that one. It's kind of the direction I'm leaning. There's just something about it. Let's see if we can find it over here. No. I did consider this one as well. So any of these are really fun for an outdoor table. Okay, so this is the one I think I'm gonna go with, and I've got to decide what color of grout. We are doing black chairs, but I'm kind of liking that maybe something closer to the flower color. I think that will make more sense, even though our chairs and everything else is gonna be black. So I'm thinking I will get some of this like a small container of pre-mixed grout, since I don't really need that much. So I think I'm gonna go with this eggshell color because it's kind of like a grayish white, or it's not white, it's like an ivory, but like more of a gray undertone. I think it will match the flowers really well, so that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna forgo like a mortar because this is easier, faster, and doesn't require any mixing. It is more expensive though, so I will give that. So if you want to save money, go with a mortar, but I'm going with this for ease, quickness, and just be able to finish the project faster. Okay, so I'm thinking I'll do like a wood trim to trim out the edges. So I'm gonna go get like a sample size to paint that matches the tile, and that way it will match up. So there we go. Okay, so this is the pattern that we're gonna be doing. I mean, we're gonna do 5 down, 5 across, so we have a square. And this is a scrap piece of wood, and I think it's gonna work, but I think it's gonna be really, really close, so we're gonna have to measure that. But we're gonna pick this up, and then we will start cutting our wood. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat that same pattern on here. I think it will be helpful if we just lay it all out and then make our marks. And I don't think that I'm gonna leave much of like a joint in between. I think I'm gonna basically set them right next to each other. And we are gonna lay this all out and then make our cut marks. And I like to listen to podcasts while I work, so that's what I've got going. We're gonna do it. It looks great. Woo-hoo! Okay, now we're gonna trace this. I feel good about that. Looks good. We're gonna remove them now. I know that's a lot of work, but I think it will be worth it to make sure that everything is straight, because these pieces are not straight to begin with, except for on this outer side. So we're trying to make sure everything is nice and square. So we're going to be using a circular saw in this case, and the reason I'm not going to be using my table saw is because we are dealing with uneven ends, and my table saw, this is much wider than that, if that makes sense. Now, if you are starting with like a 4x4 foot square of plywood, run it on a table saw if you have it, because that definitely would be simpler in the whole scheme of things. Circular saws are honestly not my favorite saw, but I'm so glad we have them. I think like my favorite saw is the miter saw, then it goes like the jigsaw, the table saw. circular saw, but it definitely has a function and it's going to be perfect for what we need here. So the first thing is you are going to want to protect your eyes. I'd also recommend protecting your ears. Like I said, I put in my earbuds. That will dampen the sound a little bit. I probably could do even stronger ear protection if I wanted to, or if I had it, I probably should get something stronger. So these are my safety glasses. They're designed specifically for women. They've got a really cute cheetah print pattern on it. They're ANSI certified 87.1 plus and tactical grades. They're scratch resistant. They are like awesome. And they also have blue light protection, so if you wear them when you're like having screen time, you will also get some protection from that. But look how adorable and cute these are. Seriously, they are so fun. And you can get them on my website, so I'll link that in the description box below. But always protect your eyes. If you can protect your ears, that would be also good. All you want to do is you're gonna have both your hands tied up, so that should be good. So you shouldn't have them in the way, and all you have to do is pull the trigger. It has this guide that you can follow as you cut to make sure you cut as straight as possible. And then as you cut, the shield for the blade will automatically lift as you go. So let's cut this. Okay, that looks pretty good. Set this aside. I mean, you can always try to get, like, we could probably cut this section out and save that for a project. I always try to save as much of my wood as I can because it comes in handy. Like, for example, me saving the cutoff of that star, some people might have thrown that away, but now we're gonna be able to build a table out of it. So that's why I keep my scraps. So here we go, we're gonna go this way. Okay, that looks really good. If you have kids around, I always recommend just unplugging saws, particularly as soon as possible. Any extra little safety precautions you can take is always good. Okay, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just make sure that we get this really clean. So I'm gonna just get this all off and then I'll vacuum it up a little bit later. We're gonna wipe this down with cleaner just because I want to make sure that there is no dust. So here is the muscle bound mat. Now I used an off-brand in my Arizona backsplash flip that we did in the kitchen, and I liked it. But I wanted to try out this actual name brand to see if there was any different. We're gonna roll this out and attach all of our tiles, and I'm so excited because this is moving along just swimmingly. Here we go. What I like about this is we're gonna be able to grout right away, right when we want to. So there are instructions and everything on here. It also came with some tile spacers. It's already sticky, so we are gonna just start over here. Try to get this lined up nice and squarely, and hopefully our cuts are square. Cut this off. Now before we do our second row, I'm just gonna make sure that this is pressed down well. Yeah, that feels really good. Okay, then we're gonna just line up our next row right next to this. So we've got some left over, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure everything's pressed down. We're gonna go around the edges, kind of getting off any excess that we hit just with a straight edge blade here. Now we gotta start laying tile. So all we're gonna do is peel this back, and we're gonna just do it little at a time. Okay, so I bought this thinking it was pre-mixed. It's not. Now I could mix it up and it would store just fine in this. But in the interest of keeping things simple, I actually found this in my cabinet, which is a pre-mixed grout in a tube. And since we only have a little bit to do, I thought we should give this a try. So basically, I'm just gonna squeeze this into the cracks. I'm gonna just push it down with my finger, and then we'll go back over. I've got a bucket of water and a sponge to kind of do a little bit of cleanup. But I just thought this would be good to try and see if it will work, especially since our grout lines are so tiny and we're doing such a small area. Let's give it a try. We'll find out together. This can really dry out your hands big time. So I'm just gonna put on some nitrile gloves. I've got some coming soon that you'll be able to buy that are Aaliyah brand. So that's kind of fun. This also has a lid so that we could have it for later. So we're gonna just cut off the tip here. Okay, here it comes. And I don't believe this is sanded, and that's fine because this is not a very big grout line. Actually, this feels more like caulk than grout. I need to clean it up sooner because this feels more like caulk. So we are going to just still some water out of the bucket because it's clean. I'm gonna fill it up to this line. Okay, I think that's about it. So I'm just gonna use a paint stirring stick. I'm being so careful. Maybe I should just get something to mix it on real quick, just so I don't have to be so nervous. Okay. So this week is my son's birthday. He's turning 14. I can't believe it. We're trying to plan out a party. It's just funny, the things that he wants to do, like the things that I think are fun. That is not wet enough, I can tell you that much right now. I think we're about there. And I grabbed just like this tiny float. You can use whatever float you have. And we are going to, you want to do it on a 45-degree angle. Just push it in. It's not really rocket science, to be honest with you. It's pretty simple. Now, normally you would use a bigger sponge, but this is what I just grabbed because it was kind of a small space. We're gonna start over here. You want it to be, like, this is much too wet for me to do this with, but over here it's been sitting for a minute. So you're gonna take your scratchy side and start to clean this up. Wasn't that easy though, really? So we're gonna let this sit 3 hours before we do anything else. So I like it. I think I would go with the darker gray though. All right, 3 hours starts right now. Okay, it's been more than 3 hours. I've been busy doing other projects on the patio. We're gonna clean it off with some window cleaner. That's just how you get that haze off. I'm out of paper towels, so I've got a microfiber cloth, so it'll work. It will do the same job, but we're gonna clean it off now. Just get it good. All right. See how nice that cleans up? Look at that. Okay, if I'm being honest, I probably would have gone with the gray if I were to do it again. However, I really like it. I'm not like displeased with it, like I don't hate it. But yeah, so we're gonna leave it like this for the night because it's just kind of the end of the day. We could probably keep going, but I'm just kind of spent. So tomorrow we will put trim around the edges and then a way to attach it to our base, and that's it, other than building the chairs that I got to go with it. So you need to seal your grout, but you have to wait 72 hours for it to cure before you do that. So we will do that, and I will show you what I use. That's it for tonight. I'll probably go hang out with my family now. So it's the next day, and we are gonna use this lattice as the trim on the outside of our table. So I'm gonna just do some very simple miter cuts. We're gonna miter all the way around. If we need to do a little wood putty or Bondo on the edges, we will. We'll paint it, and then we'll caulk and seal it. So we're making good progress, but we're getting close, but just a few more things to do first. So let's miter this. The first thing I like to do is just make a starter miter cut, and then we'll go from there. So now we'll take it over to the table and we'll make our measurement. We're gonna use wood glue and nails because the wood glue will give it more strength and the nails will tack it right into place. I think what we'll do is tack it in on each end and make sure we can get it lined up as best as possible. And then we'll go all the way around better. This is the exact width, so this is perfect. Don't run the nail into the tile. So I'm not gonna nail in the middle yet until we go all the way around. Now we're gonna nail it in really good all the way around. Now we're gonna tape off the tile to protect it, and then we're gonna run a bead of caulking to seal the joint, and then we'll paint it. I was gonna do it in different order, but I think this is probably the best way. So here we go. Okay, we're gonna take a straight edge blade and cut the corners because I kind of overlapped them. We're gonna let this dry for a couple hours and then we'll paint it. And then we gotta flip it over and do some other stuff. We're done painting it. Okay. Chair number one. Important. Important. I always try to read the instructions. It saves you so much time and headache. This is probably not the best place to do this, but that's okay. Okay, so I built the chairs. I love them. They are so pretty, and I will link those if you're interested in them because I am really impressed and I like them. But I'm wanting to finish the tabletop, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to still the current tabletop because I want this wood round off the bottom because we need that to stabilize it on this base. Well, let me just show you how this is. So I had this tabletop and it sets on, I wanted to show you what this was, because it's actually kind of a fun idea. So this tabletop sits on this tabletop, which is kind of fun. And actually, do we want to keep this? Maybe we want to keep this. Yeah, okay. We're keeping this and we're gonna create like something to stabilize it on this because I think that we've still got the chest set inside. So here's what I'm thinking. I was originally just gonna get rid of everything, but I'm looking at this and even though we haven't used it a ton, I think it's still super, super fun. So I think we're gonna keep this because I still have the chest pieces. So if we create something to make the new tabletop kind of similar concept as that, then we can keep this. But if you're not wanting to do a chest table and you just want to build the tabletop that I just showed you, you're gonna need a wood round that will sit inside this pedestal base that I'm going to show you right now to stabilize it. So let me show you the pedestal base. This is the table base that I used. This is just a planter pot. It's a plastic or some sort of thing, but it's like kind of heavier weight. I got this at Home Depot a couple years ago. If I can find it, I'll link it again. But yeah, I just thought it looked really cool. It looks like iron. I don't know if you can see it, but it has kind of like an iron look. And it was about, I think about 29 or 30 inches tall, which is the proper height of a dining table. So I thought this would work perfectly. So as you can see in here, it provides additional storage, which holds our chest pieces for our chest table. So those just slide inside, and when somebody wants to play chess, they can just lift off the table and get the pieces. But isn't that a cool idea for a table base? You don't have to build it. Now, if you want to do a tile tabletop like I've done here, you don't have to do this. There are so many prefabbed legs that you can order off of Amazon that you can just screw right into the bottom of the table. So you can go ahead and pick the option that works best for you. I love this option. What I like about having like a pedestal base is that it gives you a lot of leg and knee room. So there's no legs or anything that you're running into. So that's why I did that. So let's go take this tabletop into my workshop and we'll make sure it fits on top. Oh, also, this is kind of funny. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this. Ugh, there's orange paint on my chest table. Now, there's a side of me that really wants to sand this down or like carefully sand that off and fix it. But then I remember how that made it there, and it was my son working on a school project and he was painting a solar system and he got orange paint on it when he was painting the sun. So like if I sand that off, I sand off that memory. So we're leaving it, and I feel good about that. But yeah, there's a side of me where like I just want to fix that, but we're not, because I like the memory better. So what we're gonna do to make this stable on this table piece, I got these wood dowels and they were in my stash here. I think these ones are from Hobby Lobby. You could definitely go thicker than this. What we need to do is just make sure that this is centered, and then we can go ahead and we're gonna make sure it's centered, then we'll make our marks of the cuts that we need to do. And I'm not gonna miter any edges because you're really not gonna see this. So I'm gonna just do some straight cuts. We're gonna use wood glue and nails to nail it into place, and then we might paint it just in case you can see a little bit of it. Let's get cutting. super necessary, but I figured since we might as well make it look a little bit nice, it might add a little layer of extra protection. So we're gonna let this dry and then we will put it on the table. I'll style it for you and so you can get the final look with the chairs and styled and all of that. So we'll let this dry first. All right, awesome. Thank you, dude. So this will definitely see our family of 4. I'm super excited about it. And then we'll style it and it will look so good. So the final step is, well, besides staging it, of course, is sealing the grout. We've let this grout sit 72 hours and now it's time to seal it. So we're gonna just spray this on and make sure it gets into the grout. And then it does recommend a second we're gonna set this right in the center. Now we're gonna stage it. Now I originally bought these for my indoor living room. I found out that they're indoor-outdoor and I found a different set of pillow covers that I liked for the indoor living room. So we're gonna bring these out here. Now we have a beautiful, budget-friendly outdoor dining table that looks so high-end. Ready for summer dinners, birthday parties, and making those everyday family memories that we will all cherish. If you've been intimidated by tile projects, I hope this shows you that you can do it without fancy tools, messy mortar, or complicated cuts. Projects like this are exactly why I love DIY. It's not just about saving money, it's about creating a beautiful life and a home you love, one project at a time. If you enjoyed this build and want more step-by-step high-end DIY projects that you can actually finish in a way that you can actually understand, hit that subscribe button and become a part of the DIY to the Nines family. And if you want to see the original projects that I did first time, you can check that out over on my Design to the Nines channel. I'll link it right here. And just as a reminder, you are powerful. We'll see you next time. Bye.